Tombstone was quite accurate. What are you talking about? I mean, Tombstone's accurate to a point, but all these movies take liberties, especially with certain events, so it depends how deep in the weeds you want to get with historical inaccuracies and stuff that they just used for, like, cinemization to make it, more cinematic and everything. And look, we can start with one of the most common inaccuracies, which would be Johnny Ringo's death and who actually killed him in the showdown with him and Doc at the end of Tombstone. So look, let's just put it out there. Johnny Ringo's death has never been confirmed who did it. It could be one of four people. It could be Wyatt Earp, it could be Doc Holliday. I think there was a guy called Tommy Behind the Deuce, and there was one other person it could be responsible for, but most people think it was a suicide. Plain and simple. I mean, the showdown is a cinematic thing that people love, but it probably didn't happen that way. It's never been confirmed. Another inaccuracy is the gunfight at the OK Corral itself. It didn't take place where it took place at in the movies. It probably only lasted about 20 to 30 seconds, where in the movie, probably get a good 90 seconds to 2 minutes of gunfighting. But like I said, this is all stuff for the movies and for the audience. It's not for historical purposes like it happened, but now we need to dramatize it. Virgil Earp, played by Sam Elliott, and Morgan Earp were like some reluctant lawmen when they got to Tombstone. Virgil was pretty much the town marshal almost like immediately after getting there, and Wyatt and Morgan were his deputies or constables, whatever you want to call it. In the film, we really only see Virgil, Wyatt, and Morgan. The film leaves out entirely James Earp, who was one of Wyatt's older brothers, who was also in Tombstone with them. He was like a saloon keeper and a bartender. If you watch Wyatt Earp, the Kevin Costner one, you see him and Virgil come back from the Civil War early at the same time, and Wyatt kind of like bonds with them over their experiences there. Morgan Earp, played by the late great Bill Paxton, his attack and the attack on Virgil Earp are shown to happen basically simultaneously in the same day. It didn't happen like that. Morgan was shot and killed in a saloon in Tombstone in 1881, and Virgil, played by Sam Elliott, was shot almost a couple months to maybe like a year later, so it didn't happen at the same time. They just did that again for dramatization to make it more interesting and to save time. And look, like I said, this is mostly for storytelling purposes, and Kevin Jarre, who wrote the original script for it, had a lot more historical details in there and more backstories and side quests and stuff like that. It just didn't make it in there because they ended up chopping it up, and Tombstone's what we got in it. And that's not a problem. I love Tombstone. It's an incredible film. But like the stuff like the costumes and the mustaches, that's all authentic. But it just depends if you want to nitpick and if you want to talk about certain things that may or may not have happened, more or less. But yeah, it's accurate to a point, like all movies are.